My boss tried to show off his leadership skills in an escape room, but it backfired because we weren't escaping, so I took the reins and got us out. Now he's mad I stepped on his ego. Posted by u/puzzleheaded key 7537. So, last week, my boss, 42M, organized a mandatory team building exercise for our department at an escape room. I, 29F, love puzzles and escape rooms. I've done about 20 of them, and I'm really good at them. The thing is, my boss is the control freak type who loves being the smartest person in the room. At the start, he made it clear he was leading the escape room and told us to follow his instructions. Fine, but the thing is, he wasn't exactly great at it. He kept overthinking the clues and barking out bad ideas that were going nowhere. Meanwhile, I had already mentally solved half the puzzles but kept quiet because I didn't want to be the person who takes over. About 15 minutes in, the rest of the team was getting visibly frustrated. People were just standing around while my boss argued with himself over a clue I'd already figured out. So, I casually solved a few puzzles and unlocked a door while he was rambling. He immediately got annoyed and said I was ruining the team experience and needed to let others contribute. At that point, I backed off, but the team kept stalling, and we were running out of time. Finally, with only 10 minutes left, I couldn't take it anymore and solved the last major puzzle, opening the exit door. We beat the room, but barely. Everyone cheered, except for my boss, who was clearly upset. He muttered something about how the point was to work together and not show off. Later that day, he pulled me aside and said I'd ruined the team building experience by not letting the group figure things out on their own. I told him I was just trying to help because we were falling behind, but he accused me of undermining him in front of the team. Now, my coworkers are saying I did nothing wrong and that we would have failed if I hadn't stepped in. But my boss is still giving me the cold shoulder, and it's making things awkward at work. Was I wrong for solving the escape room too quickly and stepping on my boss's toes? Should I have let us fail to spare his ego? Update 1 day later. Thanks for the many reactions and advice you guys gave me. I wanted to give you all an update on the situation with my boss, who is the head of our department. Things have definitely become more uncomfortable. Since the escape room incident, he's been quite hostile towards me. It's subtle but noticeable. He's been cutting me off in meetings, refusing to acknowledge my contributions, and even giving me side tasks that seem beneath my role. What is even more concerning is that some of his comments have taken on in my opinion, sexist tone. For example, during a meeting, I suggested a solution for an ongoing project, and he responded with, "Let's have someone with more experience handle it." You wouldn't want to get your head wrapped around something too complex, he said it in a patronizing tone, making it clear he thinks I'm not capable. On another occasion, he joked that I probably only solved the escape room so quickly because I like puzzles as a girly hobby. It's becoming clear that this isn't just about the escape room, his behavior is getting more problematic. His actions seem to reflect deeper issues, possibly with how he views women in the workplace. I'm seriously considering reporting him to HR, but I want to make sure I document everything first, like you guys suggested. I don't want to quit my job just because my boss decided to bully me. If I leave, I also leave my coworkers to deal with this behavior without speaking up for myself. I appreciate all the advice you gave in my original post, it's helped me see the situation for what it really is. Second update 8 days later. Thanks to everyone who offered their support and advice. I wanted to share how things have unfolded since my last post. The situation with my boss has escalated further, and it's becoming impossible to ignore. After documenting everything and gathering evidence, I decided it was time to take action. I started sorting out my so-called evidence, providing detailed notes on the incidents and examples of the sexist and undermining behavior I've experienced. It turns out I wasn't the only one having issues with him. Another colleague, who had been dealing with similar frustrations since the escape room incident, had already filed a complaint with HR. Before I could schedule a meeting with HR myself, they actually reached out to me for a conversation. Apparently, HR had been investigating my colleague's complaint and was in the process of gathering more information when they received my documentation. It was clear that both of our experiences painted a troubling picture of my boss's behavior, particularly towards women. As a result, HR has taken the situation seriously, and my boss has been temporarily suspended while the investigation continues. Even though I hadn't planned for things to move this quickly, I'm relieved that steps are being taken to address the issue. The office atmosphere has already improved noticeably, and while it's unfortunate that it took this much to make a change, I feel validated knowing that speaking up was the right choice. This experience has taught me the importance of standing up for myself, even when it's daunting. Thank you all again for your advice and support.